Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Docker Masterclass, episode 11 of 18. You push your code, the pipeline runs, and the tests fail. You run them locally, and they pass perfectly. Your CI server has a slightly older dependency version than your laptop. This drift is the leading cause of notoriously flaky tests. But containerizing your build environment makes every run perfectly predictable. Today, we cover Docker in the CI/CD pipeline. Historically, continuous integration meant maintaining static build servers. Over time, engineers connect to these virtual machines to install packages, update runtimes, and tweak system configurations. These servers turn into pet VMs. They accumulate hidden state and leftover cache files. When a pipeline fails, you waste time figuring out if the code is actually broken or if the server just needs a software update. Using Docker as a build environment completely sidesteps this problem. Instead of executing your test scripts directly on the host operating system of a CI worker, the worker spins up a container. The CI runner pulls a specific Docker image, starts the container, mounts your source code, and executes your build steps inside that isolated boundary. Here is the key insight. When the job finishes, the container is destroyed. The next pipeline run gets a completely fresh, identical environment. There are no conflicting background processes from previous runs. The environment is stateless and entirely defined by the image. Think about the process of upgrading a programming runtime. Suppose you need to move your project from node 18 to node 20. In a traditional setup, someone has to log into the build server, update the software system-wide, and hope it does not break other projects sharing that same worker. With Docker as your build environment, that entire process is just a string change. You update the base image tag in your configuration from node 18 to node 20. The CI runner pulls the new image, your build runs in the updated environment instantly. If a test fails, you revert the tag and try again later. You manage the infrastructure directly alongside your code. There is another layer to this. If you're using Docker to build your application, your CI pipeline needs the ability to build and push images. If your CI job is already running inside a container, how do you run Docker build commands? This requires a pattern called Docker in Docker. Docker in Docker means running an isolated Docker daemon inside your CI container. The outer container provides the controlled environment for your pipeline steps, while the inner daemon processes your application builds, allowing your CI job to pull base images, construct your application container, and push the final artifact to a registry, all without polluting the host machine running the CI worker. Moving your CI environment into a container shifts control of the build system to the developer. The exact same image that builds your code on a remote server can be run on your local machine, guaranteeing that if a test fails in CI, you can reproduce that exact failure locally. That's all for this one. Thanks for listening, and keep building.